Meanwhile, back inside Studio 1A, I'm Matt Lauer along with Katie Couric. And coming up in this half hour, a Texas native who's taking the White House by storm.
And we're not talking about President Bush. It's Steve Bridges, a comedian and impersonator whose most recent role was playing President Bush's subconsciousness, or subconscious, I guess. We're going to uncover the man behind the makeup.
This morning, a behind-the-scenes look at the remarkable comedian who recently brought down the house at the White House Correspondents' Dinner with a dead-on impersonation of President Bush. We asked our national correspondent, Jamie Gangel, to find out just who is this presidential alter ego and how did he get so good. Jamie, good morning.
Good morning, Matt. His name is Steve Bridges. But on the way to do our interview, we stopped off at the White House, and look who is out taking a walk.
Just between you and me, I don't much care for Camp David. They call it a ranch. If that's a ranch, that is the sissiest ranch I've ever seen.
Okay, so it wasn't really the president. Meet Steve Bridges, a 42-year-old Texas native who looks absolutely nothing like George Bush, until makeup genius Kevin Haney goes to work. Then, almost 3 hours later, out comes the President of the United States.
If folks ask me, what's it like to be president? I like it.
The double takes are understandable.
All right, here we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't care what's going on with the polls. If I wanted to be popular with the polls, I ought to run for president in Poland.
In fact, the impersonation is so dead on, it is eerie to watch the two men side by side.
Ladies and gentlemen, here I am.
What was it like to be face-to-face with George Bush?
It was just hilarious. I mean, you're up there cracking jokes and, you know, doing a routine with the president.
Speaking of suspects, where's the great white hunter? I am sorry Vice President Cheney couldn't be here tonight.
Why impersonations?
It was a hobby as a kid.
Who'd you imitate?
Three Stooges, come on.
Give me some.
I mean, there was a fight over who could be Curly when you're in the back seat of the car with your brother and your friends.
When did you know you were good?
Probably somewhere in junior high or high school when friends kept bugging me to do it, you know. Impersonates, do that, do that, do it, do that, do it.
You got a reaction.
Yeah, I got attention. I got love.
But for a long time, Bridges had a very different career. You are what's called a PK. You are a preacher's kid.
Yeah.
And you went to seminary.
Yeah, and became a comedian.
And what happened?
I actually worked at a church as a youth pastor. I was like, you know, it's been fun, but it is not what I'm going to do with my life. And people were like, you have to go for the comedy. Just give it a try. Just get out of here. Just get.
So Bridges found his true calling, and it's bipartisan. Meet Bill Clinton.
What is the next president doing in Los Angeles? I want to be very clear on this. I am hiding from Hillary.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Our kids were getting too fat in their rear ends. And so I introduced my new plan. No child's behind left alone.
Truth be told, though, Bridges is a Republican and voted for George Bush.
I actually cheered him on for re-election. Come on. I know who butters my tortilla here.
What's the biggest compliment someone can pay you?
It's when an audience just roars with laughter.
I love America. It's full of Americans.
Matt, he insists, by the way, that George Bush is not a lame duck, but he is already preparing for 2008. Steve Bridges says, for the record, he won't do Hillary Clinton, but he is getting Bill Clinton ready for a comeback as first spouse.